Chapter 14. Creating like a God. It's about what you asked me during the journey into my residence. Sorry, what did I ask? I really can't remember, I emphasized. It's what you asked about my residence or vessel. Seeming not to be. Something that was created. He repeated. Oh, yes, I remember now. That's right. This thing that you call your residence or your vessel, including the buildings located within this vessel. I feel like it's not an artifact resulting from creation. Looking at the surface we're sitting on or the small garden up here, it looks more like what I call nature. It doesn't seem to have any machinery at all. I reiterated what I had observed. We use the same principle of creation as God. He replied, introducing the topic. The same principle of creation as God. How is that? I asked, appearing to think. When humans create something, humans use the human principle of creation, which is the imperfect way we just discussed. While God's definition of the most perfect creation is creating without creating. He replied, I think you'll have to explain this for a while, I said. God's principle of creating without creating is that God creates the core of the thing to be created first, then lets that core create the thing instead. The core consists of energy that can create energy itself and combines it with a code that will determine the form or properties of the thing to be created. So the creation of my artifacts is very similar to God's creation of animals, plants, all things, including humans. God's principle of human creation is to create something that is like a core to function as the center, combined with various codes that will determine what form that human will have, what organs they will have, what properties they will have. This core does not refer to the heart that functions to pump blood in your body. The core here refers to an energy box or what you call the spirit. The spirit will function as the creator and producer of energy. Humans are therefore not born from God's molding, as you understand it, but God is the one who inputs the code, similar to the programming you are familiar with. All the things that appear on your computer screen all come from inputting the code. Everything that God creates, therefore, has this thing called a core. Or to put it simply, all things have a spirit as their core. And the spirit itself comes from God's own being, he explained. Sir, you said that all things have a spirit. In that case, does a rock also have a spirit? I asked. The small rock itself does not, but the rock is a phenomenon of the spirit, or the result of the core that allows it to exist. He further explained. What is its core? I asked. The planet Earth or Gaia, where you live, he replied. Does the Earth have a spirit too? I asked. Have you ever heard the terms Mother Earth or Mother Nature? He asked. Yes. I've heard indigenous people or ancient people use them to refer to the world, as a symbol in various rituals. I replied, you shouldn't judge anything based on your own knowledge or beliefs. Those people, even though they live in the forests and mountains, without advanced technology, most of the tribal leaders are representatives for communicating with God. Some of their knowledge comes from God. Some of the things they believe and communicate, especially the term Mother Earth. They all understand the meaning of spirit, which they know well that the world has a spirit. He spoke in a tone of reproach. Oh, sorry. Does the earth have a spirit like a human? I asked. Do you think trees are alive? He asked. Yes, I replied. And do you think the spirit of a tree is like that of a human? he continued. Probably similar, but not quite the same, I replied hesitantly. Your answer is correct. Similar, but not the same. What is similar is that there is a spirit that is like the core in being that thing. But what is different is that the spirit of a tree is not divided to perform a driving function, like having a driver, as in humans, because trees cannot move. Therefore, trees do not have consciousness, only a spirit that combines with the code of what kind of tree it will be, what kind of trunk it will have, what kind of flowers and fruits it will have, and how it performs the function of generating new forms, or what you call reproduction. He replied, therefore, in creating various artifacts, we imitate God's method of creation, but there is a significant difference because the core that is put in is myself. So when you see our artifacts, you see them as natural, not having any machinery. But in reality, it does have machinery. Only the form of the mechanism is different from what you understand. He further explained. And how do you create it? I asked. Your question is simple, but difficult to answer. Let's just say that if you know that you have power like God, or you know that you are one with God, you can do anything. But if you think you are just a human, especially a human on earth who is under many limitations, you will only see the possibilities according to those limitations. For God, even though God has no hands or limbs, do you know what God has? He asked. Psychic power. I replied, based on what popped into my head. Yes, and when I have psychic power like God, I just input the desire into the elements that I use as a medium to form what I want, while I function as the core of what I want to create. So the creation of this vessel started from me. In fact, it is me myself, he replied. Humans who do not understand this principle, when they see this kind of creation, they define it as conjuring. Your science still needs to understand this a bit more, which will be in the next era, which is coming. And you have to teach them, he said. Oh, that's impossible. What am I going to teach? I don't know anything, I quickly replied. You don't need to teach the detailed steps, just teach them the principles. The person who has the duty or the mission to come and do something, when they hear what you say, they will know what to do. But the important thing is that that person must have the skill to access knowledge from the universe or from God, then their ability will appear. So what you have to teach is the principle and methods of accessing knowledge from the universe, as I told you, by having love like God. He advised. That's a bit better, I said with relief. Sir, this next era that you mentioned a moment ago, what will it be like? I asked, feeling a bit worried about my own mission. I can tell you that it will be very exciting. But if you ask me to explain what it will be like, to be honest, I myself don't know. Because humans have freedom. They are ready to do anything depending on their consciousness at that time. As I told you, God wants to receive the experience of creation, and the experience of limitless creation that will occur on Earth in the next era will be unlike anywhere else in the universe. If you ask if it will be like on Thungra, I tell you it will be different. Because humans on Earth at that time will still be in a state of forgetting or not knowing their past lives like they are now. The only difference is that they will be in a new environment or a new energy field. He replied, Is it possible that you don't know and God himself doesn't know? That's strange, I observed, because this kind of experience has never happened in the universe before. He replied, I still don't understand, I replied.